Hey guys, welcome to the latest edition of the Muir Reflection. John from the John Muir Show here. And yesterday, Democrat Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi appeared on Fox News Sunday with RINO host Chris Wallace. And during that interview, Pelosi told Wallace that she would give President Trump an F as a letter grade for his response to the Chinese coronavirus. Interesting you would say that, Ms. Pelosi, because, of course, in reality, it has been President Trump who, from the start, has been doing everything in his power to ensure that U.S. citizens make it through this challenging time so that they come out in as safe and as prosperous of a manner as possible. Ms. Pelosi, though, what exactly is it that you have done throughout this Chinese coronavirus episode to date? Let's think about that for a second. Ms. Pelosi, of course, it was you and some of your fellow Democrats on Capitol Hill who ensured that necessary relief for workers and small businesses that had been forced into financial difficulty by various acts of state government overreach. It was you that ensured that the necessary payments to those individuals and businesses would be delayed by several days because you and your Democrat colleagues insisted that any legislation to help those suffering individuals would include massive sums of funding for various wasteful partisan pet projects of yours, things like the Kennedy Performing Arts Center and PBS. So, you did that, Ms. Pelosi, and that was a failure. Let's see, when it comes to the public safety aspect of things, if I'm not mistaken, Ms. Pelosi, it was you who back in, late February even, was telling folks in the United States, in your district, that they should go out to large gatherings and not be afraid of anything, just be around all of these other people. I believe that was you encouraging people to go to these parades and festivals and all of that as we're already dealing with the Chinese coronavirus, as President Trump was taking the Chinese coronavirus incredibly seriously. That's the advice that you were giving to folks. Yeah, not the best of advice, to say the least. And Ms. Pelosi, in addition to all of that, when President Trump was almost immediately responding to the threat that the Chinese coronavirus was posing to the United States, when back in January, President Trump was creating his task force to combat the Chinese coronavirus, when he was taking his life-saving action to restrict travel to the United States from heavily affected parts of China, what was it that you and your fellow Democrats on Capitol Hill were doing on those days, Ms. Pelosi? Oh, I remember. You and your fellow Democrats on Capitol Hill were continuing to carry out your effort to meritlessly impeach and remove President Trump from office simply because you and your colleagues hate him and hate the fact that he beat you fair and square back on November 8th of 2016. When you were still focusing for weeks on your impeachment sham, even though we were dealing with the Chinese coronavirus already in this country, that didn't do a whole lot to help the United States either. So you see, Ms. Pelosi, I think when you're giving President Trump that F as a grade for his response to the Chinese coronavirus, you're doing what you and so many of your fellow Democrats do so often, and that is engage in the art of projection, projecting your own faults onto your innocent political opponents, because, Ms. Pelosi, it's clear to everyone who's objectively paying attention that the person who deserves an F for the response to the Chinese coronavirus, it's you. It's all the time that we have for today. The John Muir Show, each and every weekday, 8:40 a.m. on WTAQ, 9 a.m. WSAU and WHBL. Till next time, I'm out.